And Megan is the one, this is Megan Carroll. She's one of our GMs who we absolutely love and has been fabulous. And can you just share kind of your personal experience being kind of that new to nursing with doing bedside report?
Well, when I was doing, I did 2 semesters at Houston Northwest where they do bedside. Well, sort of similar, like a half bedside report kind of thing. And being that before when I came here, we got our reports over here, and it was fine. I mean, you could go into detail, but when we did transfer over to doing it at the bedside, it saved me a whole bunch of time, because afterwards I had to get up and I still had to go visit all my patients before I went and even got meds. Now I can get like a quick little assessment done. I can see the patient, they're okay, I know about them. Like she said, we usually end our reports with, did we miss anything? Can I get you anything when I come back with your meds? And then that way I know I need to get him ice water, and he's in pain, so I need to bring him something for pain. I've seen them. Overall it saves me so much time, and it's so much better for the patients. And even like you were saying, I'm sorry, I have to wake you up. I've got to do it. I need to see you. I'm not going to go bring you a bunch of blood pressure pills if you're sleeping already and your blood pressure is low, and I need to wake you up. Plus, they're going to wake you up to do blood pressure anyway. So.
Significantly longer.
I think amongst nurses, it's kind of like a mutual understanding. If you know that this patient's some stuff cannot be said, in front of them, like if they're non-compliant, they're like really refusing. Right. You're just kind of like, okay, that we will say like a little bit outside of the room. We'll give them a heads up, like, hey, this is kind of going on. I'll give you the rest outside. But at least we go in there and we do most of it inside, and we see the patient. Yeah. And that way, you already kind of have a heads up that they may interrupt a lot, because there's some particular ones that do, but for the most part, a lot of them have been really still happen.
And so one of Carla, my nurse here, had floated to a different unit, and she got the computer and got ready to walk into the room for a report, and the other nurse said, no, we don't do that over here. That's just a 3 North thing. So she went, oh, well, okay. So she went and sat at the desk and got a report at the desk. And then later she shared with me, I should have made him go into the room, because she found that there were surprises, and she discovered things when she did go see her patients that wasn't shared in the report, or that the outgoing nurse could have.
But that's great. She could really see the benefit from it.
Something that they've seen since we've begun it, and the benefits. I would like you guys to share what you've seen come from it, because I've heard tons of great things, but I want you guys to share your stories.
So nerve-wracking.
They're really nice. Don't worry, you did a good job with this.
Okay, so before, like I said, we used to just go into patients' rooms if we felt so much stuff was going on with that patient during reports. We would do patient report up here at the nurse's station, and now we kind of go into like every patient's room, because sometimes you would kind of come into surprises. But at least now when you go into the patient's room, you can introduce yourself. You can kind of everyone be on the same page, regardless. Talking about the plan of care and everything, and you can now actually do like a little focus assessment, and so you can kind of see your patient right away, and then you can kind of hit the floor and get your medication. So it kind of makes your day, start off like a fresh start. Because sometimes stuff can get so crazy in the mornings. So that was one positive thing that we would see all the time coming from it. And as Kristen may explain later, one of the barriers was just kind of waking the patients up. But I think once we set the expectation for them that we're going to be in there, giving a report in the morning, and that we're going to be in there early, we may wake them up. But at the end of the day, it's like their life is on us and stuff. So they see the positive side to it too. So they kind of have been positive about it as well. That's my story.
Carla, can you share what your experience has been and your thoughts on doing the bedside report? So Carla was not super excited to do bedside report, and she's not the only one who wasn't super excited about it. It was different. Some people, it's out of their comfort zone to be talking, in front of the patient in the detail that we do. But I've heard some great feedback from Carla as well, which is what I want her to share with us.
No, I wasn't for it initially, because it's hard to go in a patient's room and you have to give a little bit of history about the patient, things like that, because then if there's family in there, then you're going to be bombarded with a lot of questions. And what about this? And what about that? When are we going to do this? When are we going to do that? And sometimes it's hard to say, hey, hold on just a second. When we get through, we'll cover those things. And, or to get them to wait until you get through with your bedside report, and then a lot of their questions will be answered. So that was a thing that I didn't like probably the most. But I mean, so far it's been okay. It's been working really good. The thing I like the most is, like if somebody leaves a dry IV, right away, hey, you left that IV, go ahead and hang that bag. Or like, we don't have people calling for pain medicine during that change of shift time, that little window where, you know, it's hard to get to people. Because you're right in the room, hey, are you having any pain? You're assessing the patient together, so that knocks out a lot of these extra calls that you have. So do I like it now? Yeah.
Just what's your experience been?
I mean, yeah, it was a little inconvenient, and it is inconvenient for some patients, but overall I think they like it, and as far as time management goes, I find myself having an extra 45 minutes in the morning to use diligently, of course. But I mean, at the end, I'm no complaints on my end. I like it.
And then Janelle, I know you've made some observations. Janelle's our unit secretary, so she's manning the phones and the call lights.
Right.
And I know she's had some observations as well, even though she's not doing bedside shift report herself. She's seen some benefits. Can you share?
What I've seen is, like, say, like Carla said, fewer call lights. The most requests I get are like ice and coffee. Family's not coming to the desk. Can I see the nurse? My dad needs pain medicine. Everything's taken care of at the bedside. So I'm getting fewer call lights and fewer phone calls. When is my discharge going to be done? Because all of that's given to the patient and the family at the bedside. So all I do is like coffee and ice now. So.
Janelle's been a lot happier at work.
Staff. In addition, when I do my patient rounds, I'm asking them, so did your nurses do handoff, you know, together at the bedside? And some of the responses of, you know, oh, that's really cool. I've never seen that before. I really feel like I'm in the loop and know what the plan is. The patients have very much appreciated it. I actually have not heard anyone say, well, they woke me up and I didn't like that. That's not been something I've heard. So patients think it's cool. One of the, I guess, I don't want to call it a negative comment, but just observation that a patient made. He said it was really cool listening, but I wish I knew what all those letters meant. Because we start talking and using, you know, all our abbreviations. So it was kind of like, oh, that was a takeaway. And so again, just making sure that we're involving the patient and it's not we're standing off on the side of the room talking and they're over here. But the staff has made me so proud because it wasn't comfortable for everyone, but I didn't get any resistance. They said, okay, we'll try it. We've seen so many good things come from it. We got a patient had a cold leg. You know, there was a known thing. That's why she came in, and it was neat when I watched the nurses go in to see the two shifts assess it together, so that there was no question as, well, is it how it looked when for that nurse? There was no question. Seeing the shifts problem solve with each other if there's a question about how medication should maybe be titrated. So it's been really neat for me. I've also really enjoyed, instead of just me checking up on how's it going, how's bedside reports. Luis and Mario have both been coming up, and Luis is the director of housekeeping. Mario is the supervisor for radiology. So they've kind of been coming up and rounding with staff and with patients both. And if you guys could share some of the things that you've heard or observations that you've made.
Yeah, one of the things that I enjoy doing is rounding on employees and patients, and I noticed that it improves a lot of communication, but also the trust of other employees to tell you if there's any problem that we need to fix. And I'm very excited about doing all this. And now I believe that we are a team and we can do all this together.
And so most of my rounding has been with patients, and most of it specifically has been with AIDAs. And I found that the patients are very satisfied with our communication by and large. We have recognized some opportunities, especially with the duration and the explanation. But I have seen that both of those have improved dramatically over the last couple of months.